That's where I operate. Now, on that last one, on that previous stuff, I should say, yes, the flow of judicial issues before, and it caused some kind of slowdown in our speed, which is what the open and intelligence achieve anyway. So that's one, yes, that affected us. On the other hand, it also made us have time to sit back and strategize and re-strategize. As I said, it's a two-way thing. So when we hit the ground running, we are going to hit the right points for the electorate. Bear in mind that we have little time left. So for those who are concerned about our not rolling out of program very fast enough, you have to understand the agitation. Remember, people want a robust political environment where they will hear the electorate speak to them, they hear the party speak to them, rather, and make informed choices about what to trust with their votes.
Okay.
So it's a soft thing, it's a fortunate, but God will deal with it.
All right, Mr. Eli, we'd have to pause you there. We'd have to interrupt you because we have a short commercial coming up. When we return, we'll hear more from you on this. And you also tell us the performance of your presidential candidate at the Chatham House in the UK just last week. When we return after the commercial. Stay on the line, please.
Hey, are you
At Nigeria Info PH on Facebook and at Nigeria Info PH on Twitter. Okay, Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. That's all. And you have access to watch us from anywhere you are in the world and also make your contributions. You can send WhatsApp messages to 0809-030-6416. Again, 0809-030-6416. You heard from my guest, the spokesperson of the APC Governorship Campaign Council in Rivers State, Sogbeye Eli, talked about how the court cases could be affecting the pace of the campaigns of the party here in the state, and also what he thinks about the River State governor's position on taking other parties to court. And he also highlighted or gave us information as to the judgments that are at the appeal level, and some of the judgments that are still being attended to in court, which party is waiting for. A date would be coming, and perhaps when that comes out for judgment, he would let us know about it. In the meantime, I'll take just a few of your messages on Facebook before we continue. Don't forget, you too can let us know what you think. We're asking you a very simple question. The presidential candidate of the APC was at the Chatham House in the UK, and while he was there to speak, for those who do not know, Chatham House is basically some sort of ideologist or idealist, if it was a word, where people bring their ideas, and as a leader who wants to take charge of the country, hopefully if he wins, that is, he went to the Chatham House to meet with Nigerians in diaspora and also meet with other intellectuals and share his thoughts and answer questions and let people know what his plans are and how he seeks to address the problems facing the country. Well, his acting was one that many looked up to, and expectations, I'm sure, were met depending on the position you were standing in. But one thing that really came up was the fact that the presidential candidate of the APC turned himself into another moderator and assigned some members of his entourage to respond to questions that he was asked by the moderator of the interview. He assigned Governor Nasir El-Rufai to speak on how his government would address insecurity. He asked the Director of Strategic Communication of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Dele Aleke, to respond to questions on oil theft. He also delegated the Commissioner for Finance in Lagos to respond to a question on how he would boost the economy if elected. So many other people were there. I can go to all of them. Femi Gbajabiamila was the Cross River State Governor, Professor Ben Ayade, former Ekiti State Governor, etc., etc. I'll go over to my guest now. Let's hear from him quickly. Mr. Eli, what's your view on the approach that was taken by your presidential candidate when he appeared at the Chatham House last week?
He made me laugh. Why are Nigerians bothered about the approach our presidential candidate applied at Chatham House, when it was obvious from the beginning why he had bothered himself at the center? It was made up for a presentation, and when there was a full retinue of supporters who are going to play a role in the gap if and when Nigeria was elected president on February 5, 2023. So, for those who are concerned about the delegation of answers of questions raised on the floor, I'm not saying anything sadly happened. I'm not saying anything would happen. If you need to express coverage of that event after, you know that those who are wasting the time, the people of Bola, Tinubu, and you delegating those questions are really touching on the surface of what the Senate is. He has been this time, he spoke, and then there were several questions, and kind of put his team to the guy to show that he's coming ready and ready to go. It's not about Buhari in the approach an issue. When Buhari, President Muhammadu Buhari, candidate from the Chatham House in 2015, he did not allow, or he didn't get any of his the guys on the entourage to not approach to start off from bringing the questions of this, and that we can get issues with that permit from them. Otherwise, I don't see anything wrong with that approach.
Basically, there are two questions I'd want to ask about this. The second one will be an illustration, but the first one is this. Some of the people who were with him and who he delegated to respond to some of these questions, who then shared their ideas and gave their answers, are already members of the APC, and under this current administration, they've been there for a couple of years. And if they had the answers, how come they've not been able to tackle the problems adequately? If you think they have, you should also let us know, of course. But Nigerians feel like the problems have not been adequately tackled by these same individuals who were on that trip with the presidential candidate of your party.
The system of government works on the basis of direction. Okay? If for instance, someone is in charge of the portfolio of health and is given a function or a directive to execute the tax, he will limit himself to that direction, no more. So the question as to whether someone already was cabinet and what after we get their party, they could not present in terms of that brief. I don't know how to defend that because of the land or put the constitution. If they are giving to stocks under that brief, especially why they are Chatham question analysis to people. Don't forget that one of Tinubu is the presidential candidate of the APC for 2023. The party's platform is not one of the best aspects of the normal church. So the questions that came was they came directly to assess Ahmed Tinubu's readiness. It wasn't about the referendum of Buhari. It wasn't. Okay. So we'll judge those answers on the basis of questions that came, and not necessarily on the fact that they were the operators of the Buhari system. Okay. The questions are not about the Buhari administration.
No, the question, apparently it's not, but the point is, if these people have these ideas and they are in the government from your party, which is in leadership at the center, there are states, in fact, for instance, El Rufai in Kaduna State, we're aware of the fact that the level of insecurity that has ravaged parts of Kaduna State for a while now, and he was there addressing questions on insecurity on behalf of your presidential candidate. I mean, anybody would raise an eyebrow and ask questions. If he knows this much, then what's happening in his state? So, is this also something that we'll look at? My second question, is it just your presidential candidate giving us an idea of how he intends to run the country if he eventually emerges president come 2023?
I should think the second perspective is right of how he intends to run his government and come 2023. All right, I think that should be the right perspective to take. So whether or not that is possible to manage security as a government of Kaduna State, that shouldn't be the basis of, because the Kaduna State platform and the level of the federal government are not simple. The states have a limit on how much you can fight security, and that brings us back to the questions of those that are working for state police and centralizing of federal power to the states, so they can handle some of these issues. Some are also going as far as talking about local government police. So again, it goes back to the same fundamental constitutional issues that we have been unable to deal with as a country. By and large, you wouldn't want to assess a governor on the grounds of handling security in the states, where the challenges vary from state to state. You agree with me that you cannot even hold L5 accountable for the security lapse in Kaduna State. Particularly so, it remains that virtually every institution of state power, talking about the military, institutions for training the military, NDA, and
so do we then hold the federal government responsible for that?
The federal government. And those institutions are not mandated by the government of Kaduna State.
That's what I'm saying. So should we then hold the president accountable for that, owing to the fact that
Of course, when it comes to security issues, you hold the president accountable.
So if that's the case,
to an extent,
if that's the
because
case,
Commander-in-Chief-
Mr. Eli, if that's the case,
But as a second land, the last step he wasn't accountable was the commander-in-chief. Okay? So he has the box option on his desk. But beyond that, there are some responsibilities at the level of the national intelligence gathering, and that's why he sets anything that's responsible enough. Because ultimately it's about your people. That's why governments provide logistics support for such operations in their respective states. Okay?
Okay, Mr. Eli, we don't have a lot of time. So we don't have a lot of time. We're trying to understand what you're saying, but from the last point you raised, I'd just like you to react to this before we'll let you go. If you're saying that the president should be held accountable because he's in charge of all the apparatus, security apparatus in the country,
Well, of course, we're not going to run away from that. The president is the commander-in-chief.
yes, of course. What my question now
is the commander of all the security apparatus.
exactly. So what I'm saying is, if that's the case, and your presidential candidate intends to be president, the idea would be that he should be the one addressing these questions and bringing out these solutions. Because if he eventually becomes president, people will be looking to him as, at the time, if he becomes commander-in-chief. And you cannot then be saying we would need to hear from the governors or whoever. Isn't that supposed to be the idea? Isn't that what that meeting at the Chatham House is supposed to be? To hear your candidate speak as though he is the president and what he would do.
Okay, let me just make it simple for you. Security is not on the concurrent list in that constitution. Other issues, for instance, they ask other questions and other people answer. For instance, on health or something. Let's say the state National Women Leader Party spoke on that. On finance, one I do was Commissioner of Finance, not Tinubu's Governorship of Lagos, spoke on that. Those are issues that are on the concurrent list. So let's deal with issues. I'm not going to be going to a trap of excommunication. I've told you it is within the rights of Tinubu to devolve what strategy he wants to apply. And the approach you use at Chatham, although novel, makes sense. The British person is angry. Nobody's angry about the approach he took. Nobody has said on account of that he failed in the outing. Nobody has said so. So let's deal with the critical issues. One is commander-in-chief. He's going to sit alone, the office of commander-in-chief. He has to agree the box stores on his president. The Security Council in this country is a constitution where he appoints chief of army staff, naval staff, staff, the general police, the general of DSS. All those fellows come on the board. All right? And he has power to delegate to some people at some point. All that will come into play. So when they say the president is the commander-in-chief and therefore is going to find a bigger that comes to take responsibility for security, it does not also mean or it's going to say that nobody else has a role to play. The president cannot be omnipotent, cannot be omniscient, cannot be omnipresent. So those powers, even though they inherit him, are delegable and also delegated. That's the truth.
Okay.
So if actually decide to absorb those questions, if you like, to others, like answer, they are not in any form and manner teaching or security. That's my view, and I think it's absolutely fair to him to think that he should be judged by such approach as being ill-prepared or incompetent or whatever. I don't think so.
All right, then thank you very much, Eli. Time will not permit us to go any further with the conversation. Well, thank you for making that time to be with us on the show this morning.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, quickly, let's open the phone lines and let's hear from you. Well, you've heard the position of the APC Governorship Campaign Council spokesperson in Rivers State and what he thinks about the approach of the APC presidential candidate while he was at the Chatham House in the UK last week. So, what's your own position on it and what do you think about his approach? Let's find out. 070-0923-0923. You also heard his position on the various court cases currently facing the APC in Rivers State, how it's affecting the campaigns and what they hope to get before elections. Nigeria Info, good morning.
Good morning, Ifeanyi Andrew.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Comrade Leighton Barry Sunday, the president, the time and tone for River Southeast.
Go on.
Calling from Bori.
Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, let me react to the several litigations being faced by APC. I want to say that that situation you are seeing, if I may put it that, maybe it's because of ignorance, or I may say it is because they were claiming to be the government in power, and they feel that nothing regarding to court cases can hamper them in terms of this situation. And the Amechi guy was too, with the way it was too autocratic, that he don't want to listen to anybody, and people decide to take it to the court. Court is a place where the little man can be able to exercise his anger. So, and a lot of people went to court to seek redress of several issues affecting.
All right, if you can just try and make your point as quickly as possible. We don't have all the time in the world.
Okay, let me go to Tinubu. The reason why Tinubu refer most of the questions to those who were with him is that I want to say that if you don't know somebody, don't come out to say you're supporting that candidate or that fellow. The reason why Tinubu was able to channel some of these issues to his men was because they know him too well. Just like I always campaign or maybe talk on behalf of Senator Magnus Abbey. I know Senator Magnus Abbey that is very fair when it comes to quality he has. So if you ask me much about Magnus Abbey, I can be able to tell you. And
so they spoke on behalf of Tinubu because they know him.
Question to his people. Pardon?
They spoke on his behalf because they know him. That's what you're implying.
Yes, they know him.
All right, thank you very much. We'd have to move on to another caller now. Good morning, Nigeria Info. Please.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
I'm calling you from Ada George.
All right, what's your name? Okay, go on. In 1 minute, please.
I want to talk about the court issue about the APC. They should bring themselves together and coordinate themselves well. Because River State needs a new government. And if I look, it's just only APC can fight PDP for now. River State. I don't look at APC or other party because they are from Omega. So I want them to bring themselves together to forget about court. They should not took themselves to court and stay together, united together, so that they can work together for better tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Tinubu, if Tinubu has a question, I should throw the question to everybody. Throw the question to someone, to Ayadi. I look it. It's a wrong idea to me. Tinubu want to tell Nigeria that now, if I'm the president, everybody is my chief of staff, or the commissioner of finance in Lagos, the minister of finance now, they should tell us that it's already choose a cabinet from now, so that we can know who and who we are going to work with. That is my own decision. They should tell Nigeria, this is my cabinet for now.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
To work with, if I'm the president today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. On Facebook Live, Agocha says, okay, Kingsley, there is no judgment in the case of Cross River State. Is only a citizen by naturalization and not by birth. Therefore, there is no case if they are to be sincere. Ibn Abot Sunday says, Wanebu M. Kingsley, our constitution allows for dual citizenship. Tony has the right to contest for governor by birth. This person says, I wish Tony Cole succeeds, but I don't see him surviving the dual citizenship case against him. Well, let's wait for what the court has to say. Ibn Abbo says, so that is not a case. The governor for Oshu has dual citizenship like Tony Cole. Another one is either Cross River or Akwa Ibom governorship candidate of APC has also dual citizenship. It was taken to court but was cleared to run for governor of that state. Those comments there are from Facebook Live. Let's see what we have on WhatsApp. This one says, I have just one question to ask your guest. These ideas shared by RFI, Adi and the rest are their ideas, and sampling these potential ministers and appointees. I have only but one question. What happens if the National Assembly refuses to approve the appointments when the time comes? What happens then? Well, we don't know if these people are the ones that are even going to work with him, so we cannot just make the conclusion like that. Don't you agree? Let's wait. If he wins, then we can now be having this conversation with our full chest, like many people would say. Joseph Agboye says, as for if I'm pleased, Tinubu is simply showing us that cabals will run his government if he wins. He just wants to be called Mr. President, and that's all. He's got nothing to offer. All right, thank you very much. But this is where we draw the curtain. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Remember, you can also watch and listen again online at Nigeria Info PH and drop your reactions at Nigeria Info PH on Facebook and on Twitter. Hello, Port Harcourt is next. Jude is standing by to have a lovely morning.
Nigeria Info. Nigeria